Okay, so good afternoon to everyone. So, should we start the session? I am audible. So, dear participants, today is the last day for the quiz. So, kindly attend the quiz today.
Good afternoon to everyone. So today is the last date for open the quiz one. So hopefully all of you attend the quiz one successfully. If still someone is pending, so kindly attempt it today only. After then tomorrow onwards we are not open the quiz one. So again I just remind to you, so attend the quiz today only till 12:59 p.m. only. Thank you very much.
Okay, so good afternoon to everyone. So there is one announcement about the quiz one. So everyone must attempt the quiz as today is the last date. In case anyone have any issue, you may write a mail to us. However, you try to wind up the quiz today. Yeah, up to the 12 o'clock. But still, if there should be any unavoidable circumstances, you may going to be drop a mail to us. If any issue due to the internet or maybe due to some Moodle related issue, we are going to be handle that case by case in case any worse situations are coming due to these kind of issues. Okay, so I hope it will be clear to you regarding the quiz one announcement. Okay, in case you have any query, you can write on our WhatsApp group, or you can able to write a mail to us. Okay, so now I am going to start the today's session. In yesterday's class, we discussed about one of the important package of Python is the NumPy package. That NumPy package support various complex functions, methods, using which you can able to handle the complex calculations involving the multi-dimensional array. So NumPy providing us a ND array data structure. With the help of that, we can able to do the different kind of complex calculation, including the matrix multiplication, division. Even though we can able to resize the any of the matrix, we can reshape the matrix, or even though you can able to perform the transpose of the matrix, maybe Fourier computation we can do. So these kind of operations mainly we are going to be used in the machine learning, deep learning kind of AI programming. So once anybody is going to be write a program in the Python, using the Python for machine learning and AI related problems, they have to use the NumPy library frequently, because there whatever the complex model parameters are there, or maybe your raw data are there, feature vector, everything are required to be go under different kind of uh, reshaping, resizing, and sometimes this will be required also some kind of uh, masking. Okay, in case some values are given and out of that some value you does not want to be appear, or some value you want to be omit from the matrix multidimensional array. In that case, we can able to use the NumPy functionalities such as reshape. Maybe we can use the mask. Mask can be binary marks or maybe any other type of marks which are frequently are going to use in the machine learning models. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about another important package of Python is Panda package. So those who are wanted to work in the data analysis or data analysis, those have to use the NumPy library frequently, as well as the pandas package frequently, which I am going to be discuss in the current session. So we can able to use the pandas package, which is going to become one kind of panel data, and using that data, we can able to do the data analysis through the Python program. So Panda package is basically one kind of open source library, which is designed to work with the structured data that help us to manipulate as well as the analyze the data. And this Panda package consists of very capable, simple set of functions which we can use on our data. So this Panda is a fundamental tool which is going to be used in the data science ecosystem, which can offer us the powerful, flexible, and expressive data structures, and various functions was designed which will going to be work not only with the relational data, but also it can able to work with the label data, or sometimes some data which we want to provide in the form of tabular format, such as some spreadsheet. We are going to give some comma separated data sheet we are going to give. Sometimes we are going to use the JSON data file, maybe some file which are SQL tables are there, or any time series data. Over all these type of data structures, this Panda functionality are going to be provide you to work on such a complex and huge volume of data in a most efficient and capable way using the simple set of functions by writing just a small set of code. So Panda can help us to transform the data in such a way that transformed data should be much more usable, even though in the machine learning algorithm. Okay, and then we can also able to use that one. It means that we are basically trying to do data manipulation, where we are trying to process the methodology for collection of the data, uh, cleaning up the data, or we are trying to transform the data, and thereafter we want to organize the data in much more user friendly, meaningful format for the analysis purpose. So that process which you are going to be achieved to get the data to be cleaned, analyzed, and collected for better insight over the data, that process is come as a data manipulation. So basically, data manipulation matters because it will going to be help us to improve the quality of data. It can enable us to make a better and accurate analysis of the data because data quality was improved due to the process of data manipulation methodology, as well as it will going to be save the time and the effort of getting the insight from that particular data. And also we are in a better position to do the uh, better decisions and the better analysis for the more applicable oriented outcome. So that's why data manipulation is going to become one of the important uh, concepts which are going to be used in the data analysis as well as in the data analytics, and that we are trying to be achieved in Python using some pandas libraries and their functionality. So it means that Panda is going to be support us the data manipulation functionality. So including the Panda library and using the Python, we could able to create one of the powerful and flexible data manipulation capability, which is going to be support us for the better analysis as well as the keep us in the better position to make a better decision. So ultimately, we have the raw data which need to be manipulated so that it should be used for the better meaningful insight about the data. So data manipulation, if we want to achieve for doing the data entries, it means we are required to be follow some of the operations, some common operations which mostly we are going to use is basically we are required to sometimes whatever the data we have been given, that data we want to filter. It means only some useful rows we wanted to use it, or sometimes some data we want to select and data should be column data. Okay, so we can filter some row or sometimes we can select some column, and if required that data we can able to sort it in some different order, as well as if required the data can be aggregated and grouped into the different clusters or the collection, or sometimes the data can be taken from the multiple uh, data set and that want to merge together to get a new data set. Or sometimes during the data manipulation, we are also required to be use some data and that data need to be reshaped. Here you can see we have this as a rows and column. Now here after reshaping during the data manipulation, we can able to get this Q1, Q2 as a value within this particular new reshaped data. So it means data should also require to be reshaped in the different structure, in the different format, which might be help us in the data manipulation and the data analysis. So Pandas Python will help us to load the data, clean the data. If required, it can be transformed using these techniques, and thereafter we can able to analyze those data, and even though we can able to create a visualized tabular data set which are going to become much more efficiently used for the businesses for the fruitful decision making purposes. Data manipulation have some set of workflow where we have to get some data from the different sources which are in the different format, and then that data need to be cleaned, and thereafter if required the data should be transformed as per our application, and then the data need to be summarized and need to be analyzed, and further they are going to be create one of the visualized dashboard, maybe some kind of graph. Through that we can get a better insight about the data and their characteristic and their uh, benefits. Okay, so every data manipulation should be required to be follow these setup workflow step. Here you can see some raw data which we have as a cell data, and that data was cleaned, transformed, and summarized. And the summarized outcome which we are getting is going to come that how much total sale was done about the different product in the different regions. Okay, so that one kind of transformed summarized data we are getting for the better understanding. So Panda is one of the powerful data manipulation tool which are going to use with the Python. So this is data. If you want to explore, you can able to go at this wise website pandas. This is the repository of Panda at the GitHub. This is the GitHub repository where you can able to find out the source code of this particular library. Okay, this is the package. I told you that it is a package. It contains the different uh, packages. Maybe inside this Panda, you can see we have the many packages are there, configuration, library, testing, and within that we have the different modules which was implemented. So you can able to explore this particular GitHub, find out the source code of this Panda library. So Panda is a simplified data handling functionality to be provided. We should enable us a better, efficient processing of the data. It can handle the missing values. Maybe it can able to do some kind of data cleaning where this is required to be remove some kind of duplicate value which are going to available into the data set. Might be it can able to do some kind of uh, some duplicate value are removed, some kind of some data which are not available there, that missing value are going to be removed and going to be updated with the some of the uh, data value, or maybe any of the inconsistency which are occurred within the data set, that also going to be fixed during the data cleaning process. And then we can able to perform different kind of transformation of the data, where we can able to use some of the filtering, some sort, some modifying the data. It means different kind of transformation functionality are going to be provided by the pandas. And then we can able to use some set of visualization functionality through which the data which was pre-processed, cleaned, and properly transformed, and then we can able to use that data to create one of the proper visualization of the data. So we can able to represent even the data in the graphical format. And all these functionality is going to be provided by the Panda. So Panda uh, is used for the data analysis, which can help you to handle the data easily and in the more fastest manner. So this will able to handle the real world messy large data file. If you are going to use maybe even access, maybe you are going to use the SQL data sheet that could not support even more than 1 million within that file. But here in the Panda, I can able to use the data, even it could be into the multi-million size of data, till the RAM of the system is not going to be exhaust. That huge volume of data this Panda library can able to handle. And such kind of data neither can be handled by the Excel, maybe SQL, or maybe other tools which are going to provide you the data handling technique. As well as this Panda can able to read the data which can be available in the different format instantly, and that we can able to analyze, due to which the Panda is providing various built-in functions which can do various kind of even quick cleaning of the data. So this will going to be save the time, as well as using the different modules and the different functionality, we can able to perform the exploratory data analysis and the reporting about the data. So we will also going to be take one of the few case study on the exploratory data analysis, where we will take few cases and see that how it can be analyzed and reported for the better decision making capability. One benefit is that Panda we can able to integrate with the Jupyter notebook also. So there you can analyze, and even whatever the visualization is coming there, that can be displayed over the Jupyter notebook. So when we are going to use this pandas or maybe matplotlib, where you have to show the graphs and different kind of uh, visualization, then this Jupyter notebook is going to be work for you better. So Jupyter notebook was integrated with the pandas, so we can able to easily use that to do the data analysis with this integrated development environment provided by the Jupyter notebook. So this pandas is going to become ideal for data science and machine learning preparation, because in the machine learning we are required to be pre-process the data, we are required to clean the data, and then that data can be used to train the machine learning model. So that should also going to be used for the machine learning, also in the data science for the data analysis. So Panda will load the data, clean the data, analyze the massive size of the table in more faster and simplest way using the Python program, using the Python coding. So the two important core data structure or data type which was supported by Panda, which is supported by Panda, is the series and data frame. So any data which are available in any format, even CSV file, Excel file, maybe you have the SQL file, maybe the data into the JSON file, Java format file. Every file can be represented in the data type which are supported by the Panda. So Panda support two data type. One is the series data type, other is the data frame. So all data need to be converted into these two appropriate format, and thereafter we can use the different functionality which are provided by the uh, pandas to do the different kind of operations over that particular data set. So one data type is the series data type, which is known as the pandas dot series. It means it is a series type of data, and that series type of data is basically one dimensional data, which is nothing but labeled one dimensional array data. And that data is basically a single column of values. It means it will become as a series of data, which will be as a single column of values, or it can be as a multiple rows. So it means it have a series of data. So that data can be represented either in the form of uh, one row, one row you can able to represent, or it can be represented as a single column. So this can be have multiple rows, and this have the multiple columns. So both is going to become a series of data. It is just a one dimensional array represented in either way. Second format of data structure is the data frame. So now you can see here whatever the series data which are represented in the pandas data structure will consist of as a data. That value is a data, right? This is the data and contains some values, and their data should be have some of the index that was index from 0 to 3. by default, the panda is going to be make that indexing to be happen from 0 to 3, unless until that index we are not going to change during the use of the appropriate function. So this is the basically value is our data in the form of series data, and this data will be represented by the series panda in the having some kind of indexing. Now the panda data frame data, which is the most common data type which are going to be used for the analysis of the data in the data science and the data analytics, is the data frame, or that is going to become a two-dimensional labeled table of data. So data frame will represent any data in the form of two-dimensional table which have the multiple rows, which have the multiple column, but this should be as a two-dimensional table. So data frame, you can say that it is basically one kind of collection of multiple series. So this you can see we have the data frame having this as a ID number, having one series name, region, and revenue. So this is represented in the form of two-dimensional table, which is going to become the data frame. So this is data frame. If you are going to create, we are going to be use two specific function for that creation. One is that PD. This is the PD is basically pandas. So it has been imported basically as a import pandas as PD suppose. So this is the pandas dot data frame. Here you have to give the series data, or we can give some data, maybe as a two-dimensional data, or maybe as a some file, and then this data is going to be created. So this data which we want to convert into the data frame, because most common data format which was used in the different applications is the data frame. In different application, data frame was used. So this data frame can take the data which are coming from the different sources, and might be those sources have the different format uh, in which that file is going to be represented. So we have CSV file, Excel file, maybe SQL, maybe JSON file, maybe HTML, maybe feature, which is basically a feature which was represented in the in case of the machine learning. So these different data sources which have the different file format can be converted into the data frame. So pandas data frame can have the capability to support the different format of the data and the different sources of the data, and that can be converted into the data frame as a form of two-dimensional array. So now this panda, in panda the series we can create, can look here in this case. So we are going to be take as a pandas dot series uh, function which is require the data. So this data is basically a data which can be a bit some data source from where the data can be taken, and this index is going to be talk about what is the unique indexing you want to create for the data which are going to convert into the series. So this need to be unique that we can able to provide, but by default, if this index was not given, in that case, this panda will assume some of the indexing. That indexing is going to become something similar to the uh, random array. For example, suppose we are going to take the np dot array. Okay, that is we have in the numpy np dot array. If you are going to be give np means numpy library dot array, and that is going to give me some, suppose we are going to give some number, say n. So it is going to be create one of the array one-dimensional array, which are going to be start from the index 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in case this index was not given, and we are going to be make this to be of the default, in that case, the index are going to be passed similar to the index which are getting as a np.array. So this matplot, this panda will going to be use this np.array n kind of functionality to generate the indexes. Here this integer value we are going to be give, and based on that they are going to be take some index similar to np.array starting from the 0 onward. And D type is going to talk about the data type. Okay. If data type we are not going to provide, in that case they are going to be take this as a none. Okay. Infer data type is going to be assumed based on the data which was going to be taken there. Okay. So data type which can be taken, and then there should be a copy is given. That copy means that copy the data, the memory, but by default this copy value is basically taken as a false. If we are not going to give this value, then this will be taken as a false. It means copy the data by default, so that in the memory that was not required to give that one. So this way we can able to use this panda dot series to create a series of data in the panda structure. If you are going to look at the dot data frame, that will again take the similar parameter having the data which we have to give here, and then we have the index which is basically for the that index was given basically for the row level indexing. Okay, that will be used for the resulting frame to be indexed. If you are going to be make it to be optional, it means that index was taken by default similar to the index number which are going to generate through the np.arrange. So the way this np.arrange, which means numpy.arrange n is going to generate the index, that is going to be taken as a index if that index parameter is not given. Okay, and column, this is one parameter which are going to be use some label for the column. By default, if you are going to be make this to be optional, in that case that will going to be take again as a np.arrange. Okay, and copy should going to be make as a maybe as a default, leave it and make it to be false. And data type of each column we can able to also specify as a D type. Data type for the column here. Okay, because if you are going to be represent into the two-dimensional array the data, okay, two-dimensional. So data labels will be here basically column 1, column 2, and that column's data type we can able to mention here. Okay. If you want, we can skip all these value, but data is necessary, and all the remaining parameters are going to be taken by default. See, numpy array is different kind of data format, and this numpy support only the limited type of functionality to be applied over the array, whereas the panda series is another type of data which are going to be represented in some format which are going to be used by the different functions provided by the pandas. If you can check one difference in case of the panda series, uh, that series which is also the one-dimensional array, they are going to be indexed with the some index number. It means it is going to be stored in the system not only the value as a one-dimensional data, but also they are going to be storing some of the index here. So when the manipulation, we will going to be perform the one-dimensional array which are represented in the form of series. That is going to become much more efficient and easier as compared to the numpy array which we are going to be generate through the numpy package. So its efficiency and the way this manipulation are going to become easier, that is going to make that to be different. So although it is going to become both are going to become representing one dimensional array, but series have also the index, which the numpy array does not have this index. So indexing basically going to be used whenever this data is going to be manipulated in a different way. So that will make you manipulation to be more efficient and easier. So the data frame which we are going to create, we'll talk about that one. But before that, let us take example how to create that data frame. Let us take here. Now suppose we want to check what is the version of our data frame. Sorry, what is the version of pandas? We can able to use the pd.version. This is the one way by which we can see. Now you can see this is showing me the version as a panda version 2.33. We are going to use it so that we can able to use it. Okay. Now if suppose we want to create a series data structure. So what we can do, we have to first import pandas package as a import pandas as pd. Okay. So pandas name have been renamed as alias to be as pd. Now we are going to create one of the data. That series of data I'm creating in the form of one dimensional array as a argument we are giving it. So now you can see the pd dot series. This series yes is going to become a capital, and here we are giving one of the one dimensional array, which is nothing but one of the list we are going to be give here. So this list was given, and then we are trying to display whatever this series of data which are created into the car. So pd.series will return you one of the data type. That data type will going to become a series type of data. If you are going to be run this one, what we got one of the series as a BMW. Okay. Car, it is coming as a series. Now you can see it is coming as a first one BMW, Toyota, Honda, and they have also the one of the index 0, 1, 2. Okay. Here, if you want, we can able to add another car, maybe Maruti. Maybe we can add the can add any other car also, maybe Alto. Okay. And now you can check here running this one. Now you can see. Now we are getting a series of data which are going to be generated. Okay. So BMW, Toyota, Honda, Maruti, Alto. If you want to check what type of this data car is there, we can print that one, print D type, we know it. Let us check what is the type of data this car is. Now you can find out. We are getting this, it should be a type. Okay. Now we are getting that this car is a data of type pandas series. Panda.core.series.series. It means it is one kind of core panda core series which is of that class. If you are going to use the num pi, that is going to be telling you that it is one kind of NP array, n dimensional array. So both are going to become different structure and they are going to be managed in the different manner. Now suppose you want to create one of the another series where some colors have been taken, maybe blue, red, pink, black. So we can able to display that color. That is one of the series which was created. Although if you want, we can also create one of the series as a import, suppose import pandas as PD, and then we can able to use the maybe say one data, maybe data series you can write ts, and we are taking the PD dot series. This need to be capital. Series need to be capital. SER series, and in this case I can able to give given any argument which I can take as a list. Maybe say L we are taking and giving here some value, say 12, 23, 44, 46, 79, 80, maybe 122, maybe 3, 4. Now here this one dimensional array can be given. Now you can able to display this outcome TS. Now you can check. Now we are getting one of the series data. This is the series data which are going to appear because it is a one-dimensional. So we are getting it is a only one columns are coming here. Also, if you want, you can able to create a data frame instead of series. Now you can see we are giving one of the value here where I'm giving the different type of car. So I given one of the option as a car type because here if you can see we have been given one cars as a BMW, Toyota, Honda, Maruti. So that was car is given here. And here the colors have been given, right? This is one series I created car as a name of the car, and here I've been given a created one of the color for the car. One color I've been given blue, red, white, pink, and black. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here how much? 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that colors was created, right? Creating a car series. We have been created two series. One is the colors, one is the cars. Now we can able to create a data frame where we are going to be pass even some of the dictionary. Okay? I can able to pass some dictionary. So what we are using that PD dot data frame, and here we are giving a dictionary, and dictionary have the two pair. One is the key and value pair. So we are giving the car type cars. So this cars is basically one series which created here. This is the one cars which are created there, and one one of the colors have been created. So these two we are giving here. Since it is a dictionary we are giving, so here we are giving the card type as a key and colors as a key. Now if you are going to be run this one, we can able to get here the because car it is giving the error. Why? Because cars I did not execute it. So car you can execute. Now I got the car. Now it will work. Both data is generated. And this colors need to be generated. Now you can see. So two series have been taken to create one of the data frame which consists of car type and the color. Okay. So car type is BMW, their corresponding color, Toyota, red, Honda, white, Maruti, pink, Alto, black. And here you can also observe this is also given some index number. Okay. So index number should be available to both the type of data, either it is a data frame or the series. Okay, now you can able to check the car type. We are getting basically here, it is as a data frame. Now this is going to become, this is car data is going to be coming as a data frame, not as a series. Now, even though the same we can able to create, instead of giving a dictionary as a dictionary, the series, we can also give the data frame. How we can able to give the value to the data frame? We can take the two lists. One is the car, other is the color. I will taken separately, and that color we are giving here as one of the argument in term of the dictionary. Okay, because it support only the two dimensional, so we have to give only the two value within this dictionary. One is the car type. This name has been given. Suppose car type, car, and colors, and this is going to display the. Then we can able to print the car. So this will also create a car. Now you can see it is created a car type and color having some index in term of the data frame. Okay. Or we can able to create this with the help of the series which I already discussed. So we are taking one of the series as a banana. Second, I am taking a series as a value. Every banana has some values. Two series have been taken, and then I am going to be combine these two series, food and value, which is you can assume as a maybe price, and making this to be passed to the data frame in term of dictionary, having the label as a fruit, colon, you have to give that first series, price as a label, and give the second value of the series. So now if you are going to be run this one, we can able to get here, you can see fruit is coming and the price is coming, which is coming with some index. Other than this, if you want, we can also able to load the data from some file. The from file it can be also loaded. Now you can assume here you can see we have one of the file which I have created one of the CSV file. Now here you can see it have the Newark NYC weather.csv. Now we want to create one of the data frame in the pandas by making this .csv file to be imported. Now this file was going to be imported. Data from this file was taken, and then they are going to be create one of the data frame, and that data frame is going to be keep this data into this variable df. Now how we can able to give here the name of the file. Once this name of the file was given, and if you are running, now you can see we are getting so many values here. This is a different value we are getting here. So this the data frame was typing almost, you can see it have the 30 values are there, having the different columns are there. So that way we can able to use this particular data read underscore CSV to create a data frame. Read underscore CSV. Similarly, in case we have the single dimensional table as a one row or as a one column, that we can also able to give here to read the data. So now here what we are doing, we are creating a data we are reading and storing into the DF. So this DF contain our data, which is going to become one kind of data frame. Okay? And then if you want to check what type of this DF is, you can see here we are getting the DF to be of type of data frame. So instead of using the pandas.data frame or pandas.series, we can able to create a data frame directly by calling the read underscore CSV if you want to create a data frame from a file. So this is creating one of the data frame from a file. Similarly, suppose whatever this file we created here and that we want to export, say this one of the data frame I created. Now this data frame data I want to keep in the file because it is displaying where only into this Jupyter interface. But suppose some data have been manipulated and some outcome we are getting, and that I want to store in some file. So there you can able to also export the file which is available in the form of data frame. How we can do? Suppose we are going to take this car underscore data. This car underscore data is basically what is that? You can check here. This is one data I taken already. So this is the car. Cars is the series data. Colors is the series data. And I created one of the data frame, which is going to be a car underscore data. Car underscore data. So this data frame car underscore data I want to export into a file into our system. So there you can able to use as a name of the this is name of the it is going to become name of the data frame dot to underscore CSV. It means that data file I want to export in the format of CSV. In the CSV, comma separated format. And the name which I want to give that file is as a exported under dash car cell dot CSV, or let us give it to be exported 2026 car cell. Suppose this file I want to give. Now run this one. Run this one. Now you can go here, and here you can see car exported car cell dot CSV. Here this car is kept. Now in this data you can see, because data frame contain what? The car type and the color. Along with that, it also contain the index. So index is also going to come as one of the column here. Okay, I think this was unshared. Let me to share again. Now it is visible this PPT to you all. Okay, just a minute. Maybe some technical fault is there. There is some internet disconnectivity from my system. Now it is visible. Okay, let me to check. We have some internet issue. ये इंटरनेट डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया यार मेरा। वहाँ तो है, आई थिंक मेरे पास प्रॉब्लम। अभी मैंने इसे हॉटस्पॉट से किया, बट ये स्लो है। Okay, now it is visible. Okay, fine. There is some internet issue with my laptop. Okay, so this we are showing you that this is the data which was exported is have the card type and the color. Along with that, the index is also going to be stored. Okay, so that way any manipulated data we can save in our file. Okay. So this is the way you can able to create a series. You can create a data frame. Data can be taken as a list, or data can be taken as a series, or the data can be directly taken from the file, and that file can be in the different format. Maybe we can take, this is one of the file I taken, hard.csv. Okay, that file I downloaded in my system, which is mostly available in GitHub. I just downloaded to show you the demonstration. This you can see. This is the data which are available on the GitHub regarding some hard issues having the AS6, and this is some of the features are there, right? So this is the data is there. Okay, that data I have been downloaded just to show you how this is going to be used here. So in this case, this data hard.csv is available in my system. So this is the hard.csv, and that data I'm going to be again importing here. Now this import you can able to find out. We are getting this data is going to come, and this data is going to become larger in rows and column. So after some number of rows, they are going to be represented. You can get here because this rows is more, but column is limited, which can be presentable into this notebook interface. So there should not be any truncation, but here you can see there should be in between dot dot is going to become. It says that the data is starting from 0 up to the 302. So it have the 303 rows and 14 columns. If you want to check the type of this patient data, you can also check it. Type of patient data, we can able to get here. See, this is the converted into the data frame. Okay. Fine. So any data frame which are going to be created, they have some component. What we have some column numbers, say column 1, column 2, column 3, and so on. That is basically known as the axis. Axis 1, axis 2, that is going to start. In case of index which are going to start, that should be always start by default from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. And these individual row, these are known as the rows, and that is known as the axis. Okay, that is known as the some axis. Okay, this is the axis. You can say axis is here column wise, and also the axis can be as a row wise. Okay. So this Panda will support. Now you know that how to create the data frame or maybe the series in the Pandas, and how we can able to populate the data from the different sources. So we can able to read the data or load the data, which can be comma separated file or maybe .txt file, by using the read underscore csv. So that is basically PDF, pandas pd dot read csv. We can able to find out the uh, some of the row. We can able to preview the data by using the head and tail. We can get the summary of the data. It means what kind of attribute it have, what is the column name, what is the data type using the info. We can able to select a particular rows or the column using the LOC or ILOC, or even though we can able to describe numerical statistics, numerical summary. We can able to generate a statistical summary by using the describe. We can able to uh, do some kind of handling of the missing data. For that, we can use the drop NA, fill NA. It means handle the missing value. Either you can drop the not available value, or you can able to fill the not available with some of the missing value, or even though you can able to do the aggregation and grouping of the data based on some category. Sometimes we can able to combine more than one data frames. We can able to merge it, or we can able to join it, or we can able to create a pivot table, which are going to be used frequently for doing some operations related to the data analysis. And also we can able to apply some of the various custom function using the apply. So these are the different functions which are available there. So if you want to read the data from different sources, so data can be loaded from the different sources to create a data frame. One we have been seen as a read underscore CSV, which can see the which can able to load a comma separated file and the any of the text file or anything which are going to be delimited by some space or maybe text. We can also able to load some data from the table, maybe some data which have the fixed width that we can do, or even if you want to load the data from the Excel file, we can use the read.excel. It means pd.read.excel, and here you have to give the name of file as a maybe abc.xls. That can be used, or can be Java SON data file, maybe HTML file. Okay, or even though this Panda support you to load the data into their data frame, which is available from the big data tools such as Apache, Paraquet related big data which are coming, maybe Python, R data sharing if you want to do any of the R data sharing feature. Okay, generally we want to read some features, or we can able to get any kind of HDF5 data, Hadoop file, or some real file, some SQL real file like using the read underscore SQL, or we can able to read some SAS file, SPSS.save file. So we can see that we have the bundles of read underscore star functionality, which are supported by Panda to load the data from different format and type into its data frame, which is the Pandas data frame. So Pandas have the core functionality as a it can have the data frame series indexing can do. Okay, as well as we can able to perform some kind of filtering the rows wise, column wise, sort the data, merge the data, reshape the data. Okay, so we have different uses of that data. So we can able to do the cleaning of the data. We can do some kind of merging of the complex multi-source data. We can perform the exploratory data analysis. So exploratory data analysis we will take as a case study, maybe not today to tomorrow, and we can do some kind of data analysis and do the business reporting. And also we can able to prepare the features which mostly we are going to be used into the machine learning for training and learning. Also we can able to perform various time series operations. For that we can use the pandas. Now let us take one by one the example of these pandas functionality. So we are going to be start, and now let us take, we have been taken this importing the data from the heart disease data we have been exported from here. Now this data which I have, I can able to read the data from the heart.csv and stored into the patient.df. Okay, from this data frame, okay, which is given by the name as a patient.df, but here I am taking the df. Okay, this df is basically taken here as a data of weather. So I am taking the weather data, not the heart data. So weather data, when we created into the data frame, we referring that data frame by the df, data frame df. Now over this data frame df, we want to apply different kind of operations. Say we want to find out the maximum across a column temperature. Let us make it to be display here. Instead of there, I can display here itself. Now let us take the df. What is that data frame? So now this is the data frame. Okay. From that, we want to find out the within the temperature column, what is the maximum temperature. So there we can able to use as a df, and we have to use the column, and then we can able to use the max function. Okay, so this will tell you the maximum temperature within the column temperature into the data frame. So, but before that, you can just check this for your ready awareness. We can use the D types to know the data type present in the data frame. Okay, or we can able to use describe to find out the various numerical feature of a data frame. We can use the df info to find the number of rows and whether that or not any of them are empty or not, so that we can use. Or we can able to use the df a. What is so? Is say that we are specifying any column. So we are referring a particular column. It means we want to select a column from the data frame. Okay, because selection of a column is important. So we can able to use the df and give the data frame column name. Or we want to filter the data which we have been selected from a column A based on some value. So we can able to use say data df, and we are going to give some column name. Suppose we have been given the column name, say temperature. Okay, that I've been given. So now this data which are coming, that data we can able to compare with some of the values, say 2000, row with the values 2000, and then whatever this data we are getting, we can apply to the df again. So this will go to be select from the data frame df temperature column, and all those values which are going to become greater than 2000, only such data set are going to be selected. It means we are selecting the column A age rows with the value which are matching. Similarly, we can able to plot some value of column A using some of the plotting if you want to do it. Okay, so any kind of manipulation we can do by using the different kind of operations, greater than, less than, which is also going to be work with the pandas. Okay. So let's now check it. We are making the df, select the column temperature A, we are getting the maximum temperature. Now if you are going to be check here as a only the selecting only the temperature. Now you can click it. Then now we are getting what? Only a particular column was selected. If we want to filter a row, we can able to filter a column. So it is coming up filter a df. Here we can able to apply some temperature which are going to become maybe less than, maybe say 25. This is going to come as all those values which are going to become less than 25. They are going to be marked as a false, and other is going to be marked as a true. Okay. If you want to take here as a this value into the df again, now see what is happening. What is happening in this case? You observe, if we are going to be using simply the column which chosen and applying one of the manipulation operation. So we are getting the particular column. In this case, those values which are matching the condition, they are going to be marked as a true. It means that if you want to be select, because using the DF temperature, we are selecting DF column, we are selecting the columns only, right? Only column. Okay, we are filtering the column. But if you want to filter the rows, some particular rows we want, the DF, and then we are going to be write a temperature. Say it is written as a temperature. Now this temperature column was selected. If you want to select a particular rows, so rows will be selected only based on some of the conditions. So we have been applied the condition here. All such rows where the temperature field have the temperature less than 25, only such row are going to be represented in the frame. So they are going to give you the new frame value in the new data frame, which have only two rows are to be selected. If you are going to make it to be say 35, you can get, maybe you can see more. So row wise selection you can do, column wise filtering you can do using this attribute here. Even though if you want to use the attribute of say event, you can able to get it. In this value you can see the event which are coming to be as a not known, some null value, and also it contains some value. Okay. Now if you want to check what is the humidity minimum humidity, so we can able to use the DF in the column humidity, apply the dot mean. If you want to find out the mean of the wind speed, so mean of this column wind speed is going to be computed by this dot mean function. Okay. If you want to find out the standard deviation, apply standard deviation over the wind degree. So we can able to apply the select the column wind speed, and then you can able to apply the mean. Then what this complete mean is going to become then dew point, the standard deviation you can able to apply there. Okay, fine. Or suppose now another important concept we can know. Suppose the data I can able to load which is available in our system, but it might be possible that the data should be available in some website, maybe Google website, maybe at some of the GitHub. So I've been taken one of the data that was the car sales.csv. Okay, this car sales.csv data is available on the GitHub. Now you can see this is the GitHub. Over this GitHub, this is the data which is available. So we can able to directly load this data is available here. Okay, this is the car sale. Okay, so this data I have been directly loading from this GitHub into the data frame. So that's why this URL I have been given here, and then this pd.read_csv, it can go to create this data to be read here. You can see this car cell data is available here. Here you can see this call cell have the make, color, odometer, door, price. These are their attribute and their values are there. Now you can got here the value. Or if your file is available anywhere within your system, that you can use the absolute path or the you can able to use the real path. So both type of paths you can able to use, get that. Now suppose we want to get the details of the data set data frame which we have been created. So we can able to use the describe. Okay, so this cell I've been created C_cell. Okay. So we want to know describe this particular data. where we want to find out the various feature of that particular data file. So we have been used the here the C underscore cell. It means data frame dot describe. So this is going to be showing me the numerical feature of this data frame C dot cell. So what was that? You can see the different condition. Okay, this is the value which are coming there. Now, having the make, it means it is coming as a some method. And if this is coming the make, this is basically Toyota is make, and this odometer color, that details are going to come. Instead of that, if you are going to be right as a print, let's maybe it will come into the proper form. C cell is not defined because that I did not run it. To run this one first. Now this is loaded. Now it will going to come. Print, because data frame I have not created. Now you can see it is the same way. You can do either print or you can write. So ultimately the first column is going to talk about the make, color, odometer, order and price. That is going to be same thing are going to be represented here. So this will going to describe the feature. What is the data, what is the value, that is going to be shown here. And if you want to know much more information about the data frame, we can able to also use the info function. Other than describe, we can use the info. So we are using the C cell underscore info. So this will going to give you the some of the important information about the data frame. Now you can see here, it is giving some of the more detail. Okay. So this is giving the details such as the number of rows which are available and whether any rows are null or what kind of value it may contain there. So all parameters are going to come there. So this is going to show you that data column is total 5 column. Okay. Having data type as a int 64. Okay. And this have the known how many values are not null, which are the value are null. Okay. Count data type for each of the column that is going to be shown here. Okay. For every rows and column, the details are going to come, as well as the how many number of rows and columns are there, that is also going to come there. So this so that index is ranging, have the range from 0 to 9, as well as the total number of column 5. Okay. So that you can see here. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total index will be from 0 to 9. So that kind of more handful information about the data frame we can able to get it. So here we are getting about the data, detail about the data. Here we are getting the data about the data frame where the different kind of rows and columns are going to use and whether they are going to be empty or not. Okay. Or if you want, you can able to sum, use the sum operation, C underscore cell dot sum, and here we are can able to give one of the parameter as a numeric underscore only. We say that because you are doing the sum should not going to be take any value which are going to become non-numeric. Okay, even see here, C cell is working here, right? C cell sum. But what about in case suppose our that data frame contain any of the column whose sum we want to perform, but that contain any non-numeric value. In that case, this operation will not going to work. To make ensure that panda should not going to be considered that values, we have to give here one of the argument as a numeric only to be false. If you are going to give this numeric value as a true, it means this will not going to be ignored the non-numeric value. Okay. So in that case, we can want to give it so that numeric value are going to be used here. So statistical mathematical operation we can do with this sum. Okay. Or even though if you want to give the true, suppose. Okay. So numeric type is given here true. We can able to get only for the, you can see here, we have the make. For different make, these values are coming there. Okay. So in this case, we are going to get one of the odometer, door, and D type. They are going to be summed together. Here for every values are going to be sum here. This is coming for each feature. If I'm giving the C underscore cell sum, they are going to sum for all the column. But if you want to check for the different column index which are going to come, we can able to check the different column by using the C underscore cell, that is a PD dot column. So all the columns are going to be represented. Say make, color, odometer, that column was represented. Along with that, it is also going to be tell you that what type of data type it was used for the column. So for all the column, we can able to know, we can able to use this PD dot column. If suppose you want to know for, we have been taken this example as a DF. So we can check for that one. DF dot columns. It is giving me the different column name. Okay, that column name are going to come, but that is coming in the form of list. Okay, you can see here it is coming as a list. Okay, and also if you want, we can able to save into a list so that it can be used later on. So what we can do, we are taking that how C dot column. Okay, so all the columns was taken, and that columns was stored into the C column. Okay, and that column column, if you are going to be display what we are getting here as a list. Now you can see we are getting a list, and from this list, if you want to check for a particular column, suppose we want to check from this uh, C column list only the second position, what is that column, we can able to get a odometer. So similarly, we can able to write a 3 index. I can get the every individual column name, say door. If you want to know the values into the data frame which you have, what are the different index are there, starting index are there, then you can able to use the dot index. So range is starting from 0 to 10 stopping condition, and they are going to be incrementing by 1. So that index of the data frame, we can know that what is the range of that one. If you want to find out the total length of the data frame, it means length means what is the total number of rows within that data frame, that we can do by using the len. Okay. We can know by using the len, or you can able to use the df. We can know df have total number of data frame as a 31 rows are there. Okay. Now here this result.grade is one of the files which are available in my here as a system result.grade, that I have been I have been exported to the data frame. Here you can see it have the student name and their marks, and the roll numbers are available here, that I have been converted to the data frame. So any file you can able to use it, but that need to be comma separated. If you are using the read under CSV underscore read, if you want to use the Excel, then you have to use the read underscore Excel. Now from this, this is the marks detail data frame I created. From this, I want to find out what should be the minimum marks to one of the test empty, okay, or something in some other column. I can able to use that as a empty. I'm using the minimum to be as a 4. If I want to use the max, I can get into this test midterm. What is the maximum value we got? EMD is not defined, it means I have to first execute this data port. Now it is going to work. Now this is the maximum marks which are got into the EMT. You can find out EMT have maximum marks to be 23, which are shown here. Now we can able to select the individual row at a particular index by using the log. So selecting a particular row by using the log location, it means it is just a location. So empty.log, which are going to give you the specific part of the data frame. So from this data frame empty, we should look at the 3. It means this is going to be select the row which is available at the index 3. At the index 3, that is going to be selected, and that is going to come as a S and RN. That detail is going to be given here. That is going to give you the third row. So we are selecting some row at some of the index 3. So they are going to take it as index 3. It means they are going to be take with a label which have the 3. Label 3, if you are going to check it, label, it is going to be taken as a label name 3. So 3 you can see here what we are getting. This is coming to be 3, 4, 112 and Praveen. Okay, 14, 18, some CD. So that's what we got it. SN, student name, RN. So that value is coming. It means this column, and which are going to be returned, that is coming in term of the, you can see with the name of that column, and as well as the value are going to be appear. So third index means they are talking about the index wise positioning. It means the fourth one. Okay. Instead of that, if you want to look for the not index for the label, we can able to use, instead of that, suppose we are going to use it ilog. Okay. Refer that by the, not the index from, but they are going to be look at from the position. It means here that index will be going to be assumed to be one of the position which is basically starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, and the position is coming to be 3. It means it will go to the index of 0, 1, 2, 3, which is going to come from here. But if you are looking here, it is coming to be Praveen. Okay, so here it is working same as iLock, and lock is going to be work there. But generally lock will going to be select the row with the label which are given to be as a 3. But if you are giving the iLock, it means they are going to look into the row based on the index. So that number will be treated as a index. 3 means it will going to be index as a iLock means fourth row that need to be come there. That is the difference, and might be in the new version they are going to be used for the same purpose. Even though if you want, you can able to find out many rows up to some of the index. Starting from some index, we can able to go and find out up to the other index. So that kind of slicing can happen. So now here you can see from C cell dot log. Okay, from this C cell data frame, we are going to find out the rows starting from. This is some kind of slicing, starting from starting index to the third index. Okay, starting from the 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. This is going to come up to the index level as a 3. Okay. If you want to give it to be get to be all row of a particular column. Okay, this is going to give you the rows only up to the 0 to 3. Or even though you can write here from say 2 to 5. They are going to give you the starting from the second index to the fifth index. Okay. So one kind of slicing you can do where the number of rows can be filtered, as well as if you want to be filter some of the, it means all the row of a particular columns are going to become, then you can able to use here the with the log. We have to give what we are going to give the 0 to 3. It means what happened 0 to 3 they are going to be select, they are going to be select basically. Let me to run that one. They are going to be select. See here they are selecting 4 rows. From these 4 rows, we wanted to find out only the color column to be selected. So we want to filter out only the color column. So what we do, we can together do the slicing and then we can able to apply the comma with the name of column which we want to filter out. So now here you can see after this filter was happened row wise, number of row was selected. From this row, a particular column was selected. So that you can able to get here the outcome. So this is the other function which we can able to use it. Or even though I told you that we can able to apply some kind of Boolean comparison manipulation operation, we can able to use it. Here what we did, C cell from this Panda data frame, autometer we are going to select as such autometer kilometer which is going to be greater than 1 lakh. And then that I want to be select and going to be convert it into the data frame. So that's why again this data frame was used. Name of the data frame was used, which are going to select a car which has been run over the kilometer more than 10,000. Similarly, suppose we want to select some car which was made by the Toyota. Okay, so we can want to make from this C cell data frame, make column to be selected where the make is going to be equal to the Toyota. So only such rows are going to be selected which are going to be make is by the Toyota. Okay. Similarly, you can able to view the two different columns together if you want for the comparison purpose. So we can able to use the cross tab. This cross tab is doing what? Taking the two columns from data frame C cell, taking the make column, and from uh, C cell taking the door. So both door they are going to be both column they are going to take and going to be compare this to see the difference of these two columns. Now I will show you the individual outcome and then you can able to compare. Now again we can able to run for the C door. So C door column was came. Now it is going to be compare cross tag to compare the car with number of door. Different car they are comparing. How they are comparing based on the car. So they are going to be take the different car. The car we have the Toyota, Honda, BMW, Nissan, and then they are going to compare based on the number of doors. So what they got, number of door, what we have the number of door as a 3, 4 or 5. So 3, 4, 5 is the door is coming here, and the make of the models was by the BMW, Honda, and how many door in which of the car is there. That was going to be displayed here in term of the uh, rows and column. So this is the what the some kind of analysis we are doing basically with the series of data, especially the data is available as a form of data frame. That's what the data analytics we are trying to do it. If you want, we can able to make this whatever this data has been came, that can be plotted into a graph also. Once we are going to discuss about the matplotlib, that we can able to plot it. Even though let me to check whether it will work or not. pd.plot supposed to work. I will just check it. What is the language required? Then we'll do it. I will show you. Now, second important thing that not only we want to compare two different columns together. using the cross tab, but also we can able to compare two columns in the context of another column where we wanted to create one kind of grouping, and then we want to aggregate. So what we are doing from a C cell data frame, we wanted to use the dot group by. We wanted to group based on the make. We wanted to group based on the make. And then we want to find out the mean of mean. It means the grouping of the different maker of the car are going to be grouped, clustered based on the mean value, mean of that particular type. Okay. Now here we made the numeric type in the mean to be true, so that only the numeric, non-numeric value should not be taken. Now you can observe here, if you are going to be run this one, what we got, the odometer is basically we are going to be taken the odometer that was taken here, and then the mean value was going to be compared. Now here the number of door which are going to be come here, and this is a number of door is coming, this is a BMW is coming, and these two was going to be filtered here basically. And it means that in the make, whatever these odometer doors are coming there, that value was going to be taken here as a mean. As a mean, this value was taken. Now suppose we want to create some graph of that odometer kilometer which was came. I will talk about the graph plotting, but here we can see from this data frame, kilometer was taken, and then we are going to be, create one of the plot. Okay, dot plot is going to be plot the that value of a particular column into a visualization format. So now here we are getting odometer, and into that odometer value we can able to get it. Okay? And further that plot which we are going to create, and directly the data was taken from the data frame, can be labeled appropriately. So here we are going to be make this plot which we are doing. Instead of plotting this only one column value, we want to plot the complete data frame where we are taking label to be happen to be x to be going to become x axis to be make, and y axis to be odometer. So we are getting here a label plot as a different cars is coming there, and here this is going to come the different numbers, and this is for the odometer. Okay. That's how this are going to be used appropriately. Now second important analysis of the data which we can able to do is by using this particular history histogram. It means we want to create one kind of analysis where we want to see that how the different value are, was spread across the uh, with respect to the other values. So we are taking the dot histo to create a distribution of the column by using the dot histo function, hist function. So here you can see we wanted to create one of the histogram where we have been taken the column value C underscore cell odometer. That column we are taking and trying to create one of the histogram describing the spread of different values. Here you can see this is saying that analysis will say that they are the some value which are going to be distributed maybe on the right side, that is going to become something which are going to become awkward value. So we can say that it is going to become some kind of outlier. So when we are doing the machine learning and the data which are going to be used for the training, we can able to use the histogram to be created. That is the distribution of the column. The column can be some feature, and using the dot hist, we can able to create some kind of distribution of the different value, and based on that distribution, we can able to decide which set of the values are going to become sparsely or densely are going to be distributed, and something which are going to become something odd distribution, that we can able to assume that it is going to become some outlier, and that set of value can be ignored. Maybe in the machine learning, generally we are trying to be ignoring. Okay? So that way, this dot hist analysis parameter can be used. And other important thing is that we can able to use the different functionality of graph plotting, and through that all the value from this data frame can be utilized to create some kind of visualization for the better analysis of the data, which are going to become much more suitable to take some kind of appropriate decision. Okay. So this is about the different functionality of pandas, which we can use to do the different kind of analysis. Okay, and other thing that we can able to use the head, where we want to select the first few rows starting from the beginning. Okay, we want to select some data, so we can able to use the head. So we are giving here the DF data frame we taken, which is going to become to be institute grade I been taken. This is not imported. I think that the weather I been taken now. Now from this save. Okay, now this data was imported now. Okay, so we can imported one of the data from the file institute detail.csv, and it have the shape. I can use the dot shape to know how many rows and column. 3,798 rows and 63 columns are there. So that shape we can know, number of column we can know. If you want to use only the uh, column, they are going to display you the column name. Okay, and this is the data frame which are created, and over that data frame we want to B1 select a particular rows and column. So there we should apply the head, which are going to be show you the first number of rows from the data frame. So head 3 is given, it is showing only the first 3 uh, rows of the this particular data frame, first 3 rows. And if you want to give it to be by default some value, no value are given, in that case they are going to show you by default only the 3 rows. Similarly, we can able to view the data or select the data from the bottom. Then we can able to use the df tail. If I'm using the dot tail, panda dot tail, then we can get the only 5 rows by default from the bottom. If we can able to give here maybe some df dot tail and say 3, we should get only the 3 values from the bottom. So we can able to get a rows from the bottom of your data frame. Okay, here you can see we are getting the from the bottom 2 value we are getting, which is coming what 30 to 31, which is the bottom. You can see it is a bottom, 2 values are there. Okay, this is going to become the, if you want to get a okay, one column to be displayed, I can able to select the column by giving the name of the column. If you want to get a 2 column to be filtered, we can apply the data frame df. In this we have to give the name of the 2 column name in term of the list. So 2 column name was given day and event. Okay, so multiple column can be get with the help of indexing to the data frame. Okay, similarly, if only the temperature we want, we can get it, and maximum mean already you know how to use that one. Okay, and this we want to select some value from some animal. This is one of the data frame fruit, and this is some the animal I've been created. From that I want to select all indexes up to the 3. Okay, so it will be given as a log 3. So this will take a all the value which have the index to be as a 3. So 3, what log will do? They are going to find out all the rows which have the index to be as a 3. So here you can see we have the 3, one of the dog, second is the lion. Okay. So in case our some rows is going to match with the index which we given to the log function, this I treated as a index. If any one row have this index to be as a 3, all such row are going to be selected. So here suppose we are going to be give the 9. So in that case 9, at the 9 index we have the bird. If at the if some index have more than one times repeating, so that value are going to become. Similarly, we can able to select a particular value into one of the location based on the position, then we can able to use the I log 3. So this I log 3 what does? It is going to find out the value which are available at the uh, third index, that is a 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, which is coming snake. Okay. Now one good thing you can able to observe into this case, instead of giving this only the value, say this I given here, uh, assume that that is given only the, okay, this is what I given one of the data is a one dimensional data which have the only the data is given there, but index I did not given. So in that case the index will be chosen from 0, 1 to 3. But if you want, we can also give the index parameter. How? Comma and index. I can give here the index in term of the list. But if you want to give the index, we should know that what is the total number of data which is available into this data field. If data size is not known, in that case, that number of index we could not able to provide as a customized index. In that case, we should skip this index and leave this as a default parameter. Okay, that's why here I haven't got the different index for the two different animal, because I haven't customized that one. Okay, that's why I can able to demonstrate you here the log and ilog function, which was not previously shown to you during the previous case study. Okay. Now I can able to find out even slicing you can do. I log, find out the index starting at the 0, 1, 2 or 3. We are getting the index which are at the 0, maybe at 1 or maybe 2 or 3, and that is going to come there. Okay. Fine. Now you can able to find out different kind of uh, value we can able to fill in case somewhere some values are missing. So this is one of the data I've been loaded from the GitHub. Okay, this is the from the GitHub, and in this case the car data which was taken having some value which are null, not available, null, NaN is there. Okay, so we want to perform some kind of cleaning. Okay? Cleaning. So what we can do, we want to fill out that, might be that a particular value into that column with some constant value, or may we can able to skip that one. So here we are using one of the function as a fill NA. It means fill the, we wanted to fill the not available value. So here we are taking what the car sales that was taken as a missing, okay, data frame. In this case, we are going to be fill the value across the odometer column. So odometer was taken, okay, dot fill NA, fill number which is not available, and here for which value I am going to fill up, instead of giving some value, okay, constant value, I am giving here some value which are going to be calculated as a mean of the odometer. It means in this odometer column, whatever the values are there, collect all the uh, numerical value and find out its mean. So we are taking this from this car data frame. Odometer's mean I am taking, and since this odometer may contains as a not some of the null value which may going to become non-numerical, so we are taking here the one of the in place as a false, so that they are going to be ignore that kind of non-numerical value, and this is going to be take some of the constant some of the mean value, and with that mean value this odometer non-available value are going to be filled up there. So now you can find out here third NAN that was converted to the 923006. Okay, in case of the 5 6 it was also going to be converted to the mean value. Okay. So this way the missing value can be filled up. Okay, that we are going to be ignored. Now suppose you want to give some constant value here, you can able to give it. Suppose we are going to give the say 1000, that can also. Car cell is missing. Okay, this I have to execute first, where I can loaded this value. This I can change. Now I can so now you can see wherever the null value is coming, that I have been filled up with the 1000. Now you can see it was filled with the 1000. It was filled everywhere with the 1000. You can see it is 1000 everywhere. Okay. Now you can able to find out this way the different value which are going to generate there. Now this value which was filled up, that was written by the call cell missing, that I can store somewhere in the data, say temp data. Now if you want to display that it was saved here, now I can use for further doing any kind of analysis. This is returning print. So that need to become as a DF. I think here we have to apply the DF. What is the car missing? Then is the car missing, and then can use that will work. Okay, I think this is not the way to store that one. I will check you and let you know. That is some syntax error is coming. Okay, but that data can be filled up with that one, and that can be loaded, and that can be used there. Okay, I will check that syntax and let you know. Okay, so that was how you can able to use it. Similarly, instead of filling with the some value, we can also able to ignore drop that value. It means that row we can able to drop by using the core cell missing dot drop and it drop not available number. Now you can see in this case what happened. We have Toyota second was available, that is not here available. Only the available values are for the 1 2 3 4 5 6. Only those 6 values are going to be appear. Okay. So we can able to remove some missing number, we can able to fill up that number. So that way the different kind of operations we can apply, which will be applicable to the data analysis. Okay. So this is group by city. Okay, this group by we have been used it. Already we told you. So this is a different way of the analysis which we have been discussed. Okay. Now one more important concept I want to discuss with you, that was the correlation matrix heat map, that I will discuss after a short break, where I will show you that how this particular any data frame data can be used to visualize their analysis in this graphical notation. Because before this discussion, we need some plot library, matplotlib library, so that we can know how to create a different kind of graphs. Thereafter, I will talk about one of the important correlation heat matrix, which generally going to use for the data analytics. Okay. In case you have any query, you can ask. ये क्लोज कर दिया था क्या अभी? इस पे जा रहा था क्या? इस पे